everyone, Sherry here. I have a package from Vevor, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. They sent me over a meat slicer to review. So let's get started. So the box looks pretty nice. I'm sure it is packaged very well. And it's encased in styrofoam. So you can see it's all encased in the styrofoam, so it's very sturdily packed, so less likely for damage to happen. On the top here we have a blade and we have a food tray. I'll go over all these parts in just a minute. And we have the unit itself. And on the bottom we have some more pieces. Very well secured. It comes with a manual. I'm going to do a quick read through on that so I know what all of these pieces are and what they're used for. I'll be right back. In order to put it together, I'm going to go over the parts with you. This is the full unit. We need to pull the legs down until they click. Now you've got the standing unit. This is the sliding food platform, and this is the sliding food platform remover knob. This is the food pusher guide rail. This is the blade protection, and this is one of the blades. They do give you two 7.5-inch blades. This is the blade fixing knob. This is where you can wrap your power cord so it doesn't just dangle like this. You can wrap that around that for easy storage. This is the thickness knob, so you can adjust it to how thin or thick you want your slices. This does fold up so you can store it hanging up on the wall or on the counter. You can leave the legs up, but it is foldable, and this is the release button to fold the legs back up. So let's get this put together. So first off, you have this little food guide switch here. You want it where the knob matches the T-slot in the main unit. You slide this little piece into the T-slot until you hear a click. And then you turn the knob so it is no longer where it can come back out. It can only go this far. It cannot come all the way out. So there's a little button here that you push in. It says to use your index finger, but I'm backwards, so I'll just be using my thumb. And move that over, and then that can slide down until it clicks into place. Then you just lift this black arm guide up. So the next thing we need to do is remove the blade guard. You put this on when you're not using it, take it off when you get ready to use it. I did have a little bit of trouble. I thought I was supposed to pinch it as I pulled it out, but you just pull it out like that. Then take your food pusher, and that actually goes on here, like so. So you put your food between the base and the food pusher, and as you're cutting the food, you will be pushing that down, keeping your fingers away so they won't get cut on the blade. So here, as I said, is the thickness knob. You turn that to decide how thick you want your slices to be. On the side here it tells you the thickness. You turn it this way, it's thinner, and you go this way, and it's thicker. And you can read the little measurements on the side. The last thing for putting everything together is this cord holder here. It's just made of like a rubber thing. You pull it out and you stick your cord in, pull it out a little bit to remove the cord so you can plug it in. So now I'm going to go over everything that I think is essential for you to know. So the thickness of your cuts will be 0 millimeters to 15 millimeters, which would be 0 to 0.6 inches. They have a rubber thing on the bottom of the legs, so it's not going anywhere. And because it's adjustable thickness, you can cut several things. You can cut meat, cheese, vegetables, bread. Again, as long as I'm mentioning bread, as you can see, we have the serrated blade in. The serrated blade is good for the harder meats and for bread. This is a smooth blade, and it's good to cut your cheese, your other easy meats, your vegetables. This is easy to clean. The blades, the rod extension, the slide, the food pusher are all detachable, so you can easily clean them. To take out the blade, you just twist and you just line up the notch and move that. And that's how you take it out and how you exchange the blades. You saw me remove the blade guard. This is to protect your fingers and the blade when not in use. It also comes with a food tray, and you can just stick it back here so the food will just fall into the tray. It does have an on-off switch with a child safety lock, and I'll show that when I get ready to turn it on. It has a 45-watt motor, which is pretty decent for a personal meat slicer. It is pretty well compact. It is 14 inches wide, 13 inches tall. The width, including the feet, are about 7 inches. So I'm going to move this over to my stovetop because I'm closer to an outlet there, and we'll get to slicing some stuff. So here is the on-off switch. Turn it on, toggle, push. Shut it off, push. I have this on the thickest setting, so let's see if it'll cut some bread. You want to just move this over. Here is our sliced bread. Pretty much uniform pieces, except for the last one. So I removed the serrated blade. I'm going to be putting in the smooth blade. See this here? Line up with this. And then turn it. I moved this down to 5 millimeters. Not sure what size slice that's going to be. I think I'm going to try slicing them lengthwise. And here are the slices of jalapenos. It didn't do very well going crossways, but it did work really, really well going lengthwise. So next I'm going to slice my roasted turkey breast. This was on the thinnest setting. Look how thin that is. That'll make great sandwiches. So next I'm going to slice the cheese. I've got it set, I believe, about 8 millimeters. I'm thinking that might make a good, nice slice of cheese. All right, so the cheese is kind of thick, for a sandwich anyway. So I'm gonna dial it down a little bit more. So it's a lot thinner. I'm going to clean this all up, and I'll meet you back at the table for my final thoughts. So here is the Vevor meat slicer. What are my thoughts? It's a very nice meat slicer for the personal home. You wouldn't be able to do big chunks of meat. You wouldn't be able to do a whole loaf of bread at once. For small quantities, it works really well. My biggest thing that I need to do is more practice. As you could see, I struggled a little bit, but I don't think it had anything to do with the machine. It was more that I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. The longer I was doing it, the better I got. This was your food pusher that made it tight so it wouldn't move around. And a couple of times I didn't have that pushed up against the food and then the food would move. After I got used to that, it worked really well. I definitely think it's worth owning. It'll be cheaper to slice your own cheese or slice your own meat. So if this is something that you're interested in, go check it out. It is the Vevor meat slicer. And here's the sandwich that I made with everything that I sliced. The bread, the turkey, the jalapeno, and the cheese. Everything was sliced perfectly. I really like this. This is Sherry from Cooking with Sherry. Until next time.